You know this is technically a couple's tattoo, and that's the
Oh
one
yeah,
tattoo you're not supposed to get.
yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
say
couples
this
tattoo.
with so much love in my heart for you, bud. Are you really sure you want to risk your wife? Hello and welcome to the Answers of Lemon, the smartest icebreakers from the dumbest dudes. Did you just spend 5 days driving 3,000 miles in a car? Do you want some fun conversation so you don't want to kill your partner as you look at the way too bigness of the United States of America? Then have some fun talks with some weird questions. That's why I am joined by your god of odd today, Connor.
That's me. I'm on murder watch, trying to entertain Evan enough to make sure he doesn't kill again. Nice to be here.
And I'm your humble host, Evan. It's been so long, I've already forgotten how to do the damn intro to this thing. No, real talk, fun fact. The cats are snobs, specifically Salem, because no matter what we did, she would just meow, 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 meow. She's yelling at the door doing the same fucking thing that I am right now. I don't know if you can hear two listeners, but it's happening. Because she was just anxious and didn't want to be in the little carrier. Unless we played specifically the Knowledge Fight podcast. For whatever reason, Alex Jones' voice puts her right the fuck to sleep.
There are some voices out there that are just so obnoxious you can't add to it with additional meow protest. That's got to be it.
Like, we would turn it on for like maybe 2 minutes and she would be zonked. It is crazy. But no, music, she'd be pissed. Like, us talking, she'd be pissed. Silence, she'd be pissed. The Answers of Lemon podcast, she'd be asleep. So,
Oh, hey,
how about
well,
that?
I guess so. That if I'm doing my math right, that means Leah conversating, problem. Me conversating, good.
Evan, maybe?
Evan, take him or leave him.
Yeah. So that's a fun little fact about my partner's cats. Diego just slept unless I have fried chicken in the car. Then he too would be meow, meow, meow,
Yeah,
meow. Because
yeah.
I gave him a little tiny baby piece of fried chicken once, and every time I bring in chicken wings, he's like, yes, for me, thank you. Let me get... He's usually a very polite boy. No, he's clawing at my leg. He's trying to jump up on the table. He's yelling. Cats, man.
Yeah,
They're
fried
sure
chicken
felines.
is one of those things that your life changes afterwards. You
really
now have
does,
new
though.
desires, new goals.
It's mostly to have more fried chicken.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've got more, but I want to ask you first. How have you been, Connor? It's been a minute. I was going to say, as the kids say, I'm an adult. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't know what the kids say. I do know one thing that the kids say, and cringe is now cringe. If you want to say cringe, you don't say cringe. You say Ohio.
But I did not know that.
That's why I taught you.
Okay. Well, now I know that.
I'm hip. Ohio's in my vernacular now.
Okay. Well, processing. Great. All right. Filed that away. As far as I'm going, my life, I've really been enjoying being in one place all for a while and not having to move around so much lately. Just
How's that
imagining and catching little breadcrumbs of your trials and tribulations as you had to move across the entire country.
Yeah, it's been an experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I think probably the exact opposite experience of unpacking and repacking and organizing your life that you've had to have lately. I've been decorating for spooky season. Got my little pumpkins out, hanging my skeletons.
I do love that. I have a Pyramid Head figure that I can't wait to bust out and like treat like a hell Christmas tree.
Very nice. Excellent. But yeah, I've been enjoying that. And Alita's been getting more into the spirit of things this year. She's got a couple of cutesy, spooky things that hit the Venn diagram of our taste in Halloween decor. And so now she's saying things like, we're going to have to go to Goodwill to get something to fill that spot.
Nice. So I guess what I want to take away from this is, what is the one item that is like the opposite, the non-overlaps of the Venn diagrams? Like, what is your Halloween and what is Alita's Halloween?
Okay, so right now, right in the middle, we've got front doorstep ghosts that look happy to be around. Happy ghosts work for both of us. Her side of the spectrum is on the front door is an owl on a branch, just kind of sitting there, like being an owl. On my side of the spectrum, you have a porcelain clown jack-o'-lantern creature with a big, broad smile and staring eyes. The head is on a spring that no longer attaches to the body. So we leave those separate.
Cool.
That's the most me piece of spook compared to what she would be putting around the house.
Okay, so it seems that the opposites is hell and autumn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alita is more on the natural side of fall and acknowledging
and
like twigs and leaves and birds.
And you're just going full Bosch.
Yeah, at every opportunity. And I specifically like things that are inadvertently spooky.
Yep.
You know, you can't just have like a big scary face that pops up out at you. It's got to be something where you realize the artist didn't know what they were doing when they made it, and like something just sort of overtook them, or they just like had a blind spot that they'd missed when they thought, oh, this will be marketable en masse.
Right.
To the average person.
So you're more for the actual spirit of Halloween, as you said, overtaking them.
Yeah. I want products of possession.
You want to possess the possession.
That which has been possessed shall be possessed again. Yeah, that's been a nice little feature of my life lately.
I love that.
Yeah. And how about your life? How's that been going?
Yeah, so I've been, in keeping with spooky season, I've gone through my own personal hell for the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So highly recommend never move. Just die in the place that you were born. Just give it up. If you hate it, learn to love it. It is not worth moving at all.
You hear that, emo bands? Learn to embrace that town. Complain more vocally, yet more specifically. Be more constructive with your complaints about your hometown, because it's not worth leaving.
It's not just about getting out. It's about improving.
Bring the out in. Bring the out of town into town, because it's more work to leave the town.
Just make it. Just figure. Go join your town council and start petitioning for better everything. It's much easier than moving across the country. So my experience before driving 3,000 miles in a car was my partner's mother setting our apartment on fire the day before we leave.
Cool. Yeah. How purposeful was that? Was that like she just wanted to help you say goodbye in a big dramatic way?
I wish, because that's more than our old landlord deserved. But no. And you think it's a hyperbole, like, oh, she set a fire. No, she set our apartment on, part of our kitchen caught on fire. So what I learned is that her mother doesn't know what an electric kettle is. And she thought that my electric kettle, which, may I just posit, she washed herself and then put upside down to dry, so you can see that the base is plastic with a heating element.
But
just put it on the stove and turned it on.
Like, oh.
Just put it on the stove, turned it on, walked away. So
I admire the confidence. It maybe should be accompanied by knowledge of various kettles, but the confidence of like, I know what a kettle is. I don't need to ask any other questions or monitor the progress.
It's all right. Everything worked out for the best. I did have to jump out of my bed in nothing but my skivvies as Leah's dad put out the fire. Leah's mom was coming with the ramifications of the actions that she had taken. Leah was air traffic controlling how to get everything safe and sound, and I was flicking the smoke away from the smoke detector. I don't know if you've ever been part of, privy to, smelled, tasted an electric and plastic fire?
You know what? I did spend a considerable amount of my life in my youth as a Boy Scout, so I've smelled some things that shouldn't be burned. I don't think probably as powerfully as you were forced to.
It tasted like poison. I've never tasted poison before, but this smoke tasted like poison. Hey. This is one of those, if I were in a video game, my health would be going down currently.
I'd have green bubbles somewhere on my status list.
Can someone use Dispoison or Squelch? Yeah, Leah put on a mask and took care of all that. Fortunately, the cats were sleeping in the bedroom with us, so we just shut the door on those little fur balls.
Yeah, I'm glad she had the right accessory to deal with that status effect.
Yeah. So that worked out all right.
So far,
I'm gonna skip over the part of having to orchestrate the movers who we are hiring and Leah's dad, who's there, getting them to work in tandem to pack a truck, which was too small for our apartment, which was fascinating to us, which makes me think I've got too much dumb bullshit and need to get less of that. You
got a lot of stuff, no doubt, but it's good stuff.
I like my stuff, but it's a lot of junk. So it's because Leah and I realized it's a lot of little junk. So that was taxing in its own right. I will be honest, the trip across country is really enjoyable. If you ever get, I know you have, but you two listeners, if you ever get an opportunity to just see the scope of this country, it's staggering. There are some breathtakingly beautiful spots right on I-90. It's really cool and gives a perspective on just how too big this country is. That being said, the 5-day driving was a lot, and I didn't know, but you can bruise your arm muscles by driving.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I was just kind of going. I was doing good. So I drove basically the first 2 days in entirety.
That's a move.
Which were 8-hour, like trucker days. And I don't drive a lot. Living in cities, I do a lot more walking. I work from home. Like, it's... So
I'm sure much more like moving arms driving too, as opposed to cross country driving, which is much more hold firm, maintain course.
Because it's hold firm, maintain course. Oh, you're scared of heights and you're going up mountains, so you're gripping and you're tightening the muscles, and then you're using your wrists to turn, and then you just fuck up whatever muscle this is. It's not one of the ones you can work out, so I don't know what it's titled. I had this nasty fucking like gray brown bruise. We think we hurt the nerve. I hurt the nerve because I touched it, and it was one of those ones where when you just kind of go through the roof. Yeah, so I did that by driving. Take breaks, wear wrist braces if you need them. Don't be afraid of what you're driving through. Rely on your partner who loves you and you love to drive. You don't need to do everything by yourself, you psychopath. So that's fun. The car decided to break down in either Idaho or Montana. I don't know.
Oh, man. Yep. You just got it taken care of.
Yeah, but we didn't have enough antifreeze. Leah's father had informed us to make sure we stock up on antifreeze, and we're like, we're going through the country in the summer. Nothing's gonna be cold. Apparently, antifreeze helps keep your car cool when you're driving it hot or using air conditioning.
Oh,
so just make sure that's topped off, guys. Because antifreeze isn't just for not freezing; it's for not overheating too.
I don't have a lot of car knowledge. I'm trying to sort through the handful of disorganized binders in my head to tell me if there is even a difference between antifreeze and coolant. Are they the same thing?
I want to say no based on dictionary definitions. Or no, not dictionary definitions, but like the etymology of those two words alone. Antifreeze, no freeze, coolant, causes to cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Either way, so that was dope. It was an easy fix. We just topped off the thing and let the car rest.
That's nice.
So that was pretty.
That's a relief.
Pretty smooth. Don't go to Ohio. I'm sorry if you're from Ohio too, listeners. But I don't know what the fuck y'all do driving there, but it's scary. People are going like 80, 90 in like 55 mile per hour zones. I don't know if you've ever been to an OSHA compliant workplace and seen the boards, because the highways in Ohio have a board with the fucking changing number that says drive safely. It has been 11 days since the last serious accident.
Okay, Ohio.
So, I'm sorry, Drew Carey. Ohio does not rock. In my humble opinion, no thank you.
Cleveland is pretty nice.
I've never been. I can't judge. I've never been. I've driven through it. Didn't care for it. It's where I saw the death signs. So, and then we get to our apartment, and the broker that we went through, because we had to go through, informed us that there were a couple of broken tiles that the landlord would take care of by the time you got there. So we get there, and so we have a hallway, a kitchen, and a pantry that all have the same tile, and it's all fucked up through all of them. Like, there's shards of grout. Leah sliced her foot open the first night. There's cracks in everything. Even the stuff that didn't have cracks had fucking, like, movable tiles that are cats. Salem is 11 goddamn pounds, and that little idiot was able to move the tile underneath. He put down a couple of yoga mats.
Man, you gotta know that's not gonna do it.
Yeah, so... Also, the apartment was just kind of filthy. So we drove across the country for this. Everything's fine. We're here now. Shit's groovy.
Haven't contracted any new diseases yet.
No, we put salve on Leah's foot. It worked out. The landlord was like, yeah, you guys find some stuff, take care of it, we're cool. I'm like, great. And then he shoots this message of like, hey, I found this luxury plank. We'll be doing this. I'm like, do you want to give us $400 to $500 for this? To which we said, no.
Are you asking me if you want me to pay you to fix up the place that you own?
In my text message response to him, my documented response, my answer was, as we spoke about earlier, we don't really care as much what is covering this, just that this is fixed to our city's compliance. But that being said, this is your place, so you can put in what you want to do.
As long as it doesn't kill us when we step on it.
And yet, they go through that, and he's like, oh yeah, we'll be here tomorrow at 9 o'clock, 9:15, whatever, to measure the floors, was what we were told. This was like a week after that initial conversation. So the gentleman comes in, doesn't speak a word of English. And it's like we're gesticulating at each other to communicate. And he's like, oh, move the rugs. I'm like, that's kind of strange to just measure a thing. So that's cool. So I get Liam like, hey, I just need your hand. We got to move all these rugs for this guy. It's fine. We hear power tools start going off.
You so rarely need to plug a tape measure in.
I've never once in my life. Nope. For some reason, analog works best for those. So he put this just strange man that I just have to assume is some relation to the landlord. Just put in our floors for us and just had a bandsaw without a guard on and was just cutting vinyl flooring out in the open. So I don't know if you've ever vacuumed your walls before, Connor.
No, bud. Can't say I have.
But we had to throw away any food that was open on our kitchen countertops. We had to rewash dishes. We had to sweep and vacuum everything. But it's done. I mean, it's not done. Leah's going to be ripping up the trim because they put the trim in the most batshit fucking way.
Oh, well, okay. Trim.
But it's done. The floor's not cutting my feet. That's all I fucking care about.
That's, and you know what? A little bit of heads up would have been nice. But you got your floors done. And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. No, Leah and I were just hanging out in her office for, a full work day with the bad internet room.
You've got a bad internet room.
Yeah, it's Leah's office. But it's
Groovy.
done. It's done. So don't move across the country. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Certainly not sight unseen apartment, for sure.
Anyway, I too am in spooky season. I have socks that have a corgi with devil horns that says "too cute to spook."
Very good.
Yeah.
I got
Want to get into it?
Socks. Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's do the podcast.
Let's have Connor. We're doing a brand new one.
Oh,
91. That's as close to new as we're ever gonna get. What's the worst tattoo you'd be willing to get?
So I've already locked myself into this one. There is no bottom floor for how terrible this tattoo will be. It's out of my hands.
Right.
Whatever tattoo my wife, Alita, decides to get, I will get the same tattoo, except whatever it is. If it's an animal, if it's a picture of me for godforsaken reason, if it is the night sky or a rainbow, it needs to be cut in half and showing the inside, which is kiwi.
Why kiwi?
Because when we went to New Zealand, we were talking about like, hey, if you were ever going to get a tattoo, what would it be? I wanted to commemorate going on this trip. And Alita was like, oh yeah, we could get a kiwi, like the bird of the New Zealand bird. And I said, yeah, and you can cut it in half, and on the inside, it's also kiwi. This is something I've seen as a joke on the internet, and she thought it was clever, and I said, no, I just noticed somebody else was clever and remembered it. And then she said, well, probably not a kiwi bird then. Maybe like a mermaid. And I said, yeah, you could cut that in half too. And there would be kiwi inside to show it's New Zealand. And every tattoo idea she's ever had ever since then, I've told her, yeah, we could cut that in half. Put a kiwi inside. Kiwi flesh. For whatever it is that you have in mind.
This is technically a couple's tattoo, and that's the one tattoo you're not supposed to get.
Yeah, man.
I say this with so much love in my heart for you, bud. Are you really sure you want to risk your wife? Like, not saying you can't get out there. I'm just advising you not to.
It's too late, man. It's too late.
It's never too late.
I'm in the bit. I'm deep in the bit.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I like the bit. I like how hyper specific it is, and I like that you're taking that. I mean, in the year of our Lord 2024 Anno Domini, trite idea of the kiwi bird, which admittedly I'm a millennial too. I thought that was wicked funny when I was 18.
Yeah.
I still think it's clever now. Fuck, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I like it so much more that it's just, hey, that old Chinese jar, kiwi.
Dude, if it's like,
but the jar part would be empty. It would be in the actual like the clay. The clay was kiwi.
if you have to, like, she just writes a slogan on her arm. I'm gonna have to slice like the letters halfway through the middle and show that they're kiwi on the inside.
That's not bad. I was gonna recommend Kiwi Shadow.
All right. I see it.
So, I guess I know you're committed to the bit, but
yeah.
it understanding where it has gotten you now, would you have changed the fruit?
No. I think kiwi flesh is distinct enough that you'll recognize that it's fruit flesh, which cannot be said for everything. Okay. And mystifying enough to still be fun to put on my body forever.
Okay. I like it. God, I'm gonna make fun of you forever for it if you end up getting it though. Goddamn. Like, yeah. I love you. You will not live it down.
It's a tattoo. You're not supposed to. They're supposed to be forever.
Yeah. So, in a similar vein, mine is probably whatever gets me $1 million.
Oh, you're like, you'll let Sam's Club tattoo something on your bicep.
Pretty much. Like, yeah, you pay enough money, I'll get it on my body.
And $1 million, nice round figure, good sum.
Yeah, maybe it's all of the goddamn money I've sunk into moving. Maybe that's clouding my current judgment. But yeah, if you want to pay me, yeah, you know what? What is a body but a walking billboard? I take my shirt off a lot.
A lot of things, actually. Nah. Bodies are lots of things, not just billboards. But
capitalism, late stage capitalism, baby.
Oh, that's right.
Gotta keep renting.
The body is nothing other than a source of income to be exploited by those who own the means.
But thinking of who I am as a person right now, like I can't commit to a tattoo. Like I think about ideas and I never get to the point of, I really want that on me forever. But boy, do I really want $1 million.
That's and you don't really need to like whatever it is that's getting tattooed on you. You just need to not fervently despise it. And then everybody's like, oh, I didn't realize you were really that big of a fan of Wendy's. You're like, I mean, it's good. I like those saucy nugs they did a few years back. Those were nice. But really, I just wanted $1 million. And they'll go, hey, can you tell me who it was that offered you that so that I could also get $1 million and Wendy's tattooed on my arm?
Like, it's when people like look down at furry artists. It's like, dude, they make bank. Like, it's all right. Everybody's got to get that bag. And I could, even if it's a gross shitty tattoo, I love Musk, something like that. I look at that and I'll just go, that's my house.
And now I live inside of that choice I made to put that on my arm. And I add Sharpie to it every day to change the meaning of what it said.
Just Musketeers. I love muskets.
Particular fan of D'Artagnan.
No, I was thinking the candy bar. Worst candy bar. That's not even nougat. I love nougat. That's just fake. It's so gross.
It's perfect for what it is. It is a very distinct nougat.
It's a Milky Way without caramel. Just give me the Milky Way.
Sometimes
honestly, my favorite Milky Ways are Milky Ways simply caramel. Just cut out the bullshit. Give me that good caramel because Milky Way's got really good caramel.
It does. They do. Yeah.
Yeah. So send in your tattoos, rich people. I got a lot of pale, flabby flesh for you. Price is Right rules, baby.
And please don't include in the contract that Evan cannot alter it with makeup on a daily basis. Now that we've given away the game,
I'm just gonna tattoo over it when the contract's up. All right, so we are sticking with new ones today, Con. What animal or monster benefits the most from a kaiju-sized upgrade?
Oh boy. So like there are a lot of really classic horror movies that give us a lot of insight here. Animals like the ant and the spider and the lobster all
the benefit
Gargan,
if you will.
Yeah, all benefit greatly.
Oh, that spiked real bad. I was not far away enough from the mic.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to artificially restrain myself to the classic horror movie catalog, and I'm going to say that the monster who benefits the most from being gigantified is the woman.
Ooh, why
Attack
the
of
woman?
the 50-foot woman. Because she gets to do what she wants now. I don't know what her life was like beforehand, but now she can do what she wants.
I mean, if there's anything that I've seen on the darker sides of the internet, is that it's going to be making a killing in the fetish community.
If she so chooses. Yep, she will have lots and lots of opportunities there. No doubt.
Like the first non-drawn giantess.
And you gotta know,
flick.
like, not only does she get to make her own decisions about what she's going to be doing with her life, she'll have a loyal army who will build her the giant house that she needs. No problem.
Yeah.
Money will flow in. No questions.
Yeah. No, that's very good. Hell, I'd be just for the novelty. I'd like to, like help with that or like work on something, I mean, for money. I'm not doing it for free.
I can't think of a more
I'm
deserving...
putting permanent ink on my body for $1 million. You think I'm just going to help a random stranger just because she's tall?
Very tall.
No.
Really tall. And big.
Okay, all right, big. Now we're talking.
Now she's really big and 50 feet tall. And yeah, I just, if you saw that pop up on a GoFundMe, would you not feel moved? I submit that you would. Certainly there are enough perverts out there who would be.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's one of those things that you can think about eternally, like, I could take a bullet for this person, but like only when you are in that moment will you know if you will donate to the giant lady. Because I know the kind of man I am right now, but who will I be in that moment when I see that, hey, I'm tall now, money please.
Someone's got to support this very, very large person.
And
Science confused. Life needs obvious.
Yeah.
Where else are you putting your pocket change?
Yeah. I mean, what is the modern day freak show but people on YouTube? Like, she'll make a killing in advertisements.
And based on the going rate of $1 million for a regular person-sized tattoo,
oh my gosh,
she'll be a billionaire.
She's gotta get that like tattooed on by satellites.
Yeah. It'll be a different sponsor every inch. Like it's like decked out like a NASCAR.
Yeah. It's like one of those like really cool like intricate sleeves, but then you look at it close up and it's just all a bunch of like little things. You're like, oh dang. Yeah.
And that's assuming that she even wants charity. I mean, the amount, like the Paul Bunyan-esque escapades you can get up to for profit.
even if you want charity, the first thing that went to my mind was chopping down trees like Paul Bunyan.
Right? Like, and you got to know there will be a giant blue animal somewhere out there. Wait, like when you gigantify her, the animal will come.
I mean, the animal had to come before the person. I mean, that's just testing.
Yeah, and now that it hears the call of its new friend, the giant woman, it'll bust out of its prison.
We have been forced into a world that does not understand us. May we try to understand each other.
And
man,
now
that's
she's
really
got a giant animal, and like that's 2 kaiju to contend with. She can do what she wants now.
Should we just start a comic? I think that we need to just write a comic.
The modern day giant woman.
Yeah. I think it would sell not at all, but I think we'd have fun.
All right. I'm in.
I'm hopping in. I'm hopping in for mine because I've had this for a bit. The cow.
The cow.
Because I benefit the most from this animal kaiju's upgrade because I'm going to create the #1 most unbeatable steak eating challenge in the world.
You will slaughter the giant cow.
I have to. It is my steakhouse and roadside attraction.
Evan, how do you plan on slaughtering the giant cow?
That's for future me to take care of.
Okay.
Present Evan is just in the ideas phase. We fly by the seat of our pants here, Connor. We don't ask questions that we don't want answers to. We are just thinking about the giant T-bone steak that some dude's like, yeah, I could eat that. Dude, it's literally the size of a cottage. I could eat that.
You got to read the fine print, my man. When we say giant T-bone, we're talking like capital T. Yep. This font, it's in the triple digits.
Yeah, it's like it looks like it's like a 32 ounce. It looks like the ounce, but you look at it, it's like a new made up like titanium ounce, which is like 3 tons. It's like 32 times 3 tons.
Yeah, well, you've got a cow that defies modern forms of measurement. You need to invent your own, and the titanium ounce is as good as any.
There we go. So I think people are going to come to,
especially the Titan part of titanium ounce.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope that was subconscious, Evan, because that wasn't me. I was just like, I was gonna honestly just say metric ounce. I'm like, that's stupid. Say something cooler. Titanium's a cool word.
Yeah, you were right. That was cooler.
Sweet. So yeah, I think it'd be really fun to just have giant cow steak buffet eating challenge. It's like you get a lot of milk, have giant cheese. I mean, like the cheese, like we can make giant cheese with just the. I'm not gonna lessen myself. We're having fucking giant cheese time. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think giant cow also because then you'd be like, oh, look at that cute cow. Oh my god, look at that cute giant cow.
Oh wow! I didn't know how far away I could see that cow from. I'm getting close. That cow was on the other side of the horizon. That's weird.
I've seen the curvature of the Earth.
Coming soon, giant T-bone contest.
I don't like what that represents.
All right, well, I'm just gonna eat my giant cheese. Be happy with it. Curds the size of your head.
Man. So, cows and women. That's where we're at today, Con.
Giant.
Okay, all right, old. We're going old.
Back to the past.
Number 14, Connor. Be honest. Furry or Scaly?
Oh, boy. I mean, like, on one hand, I gotta have some mammal loyalty, right?
Okay.
You know, doesn't it feel important to love our fellow furry animals?
Depends on who you ask. A lot of people keep reptiles and amphibians, man.
That they do. That they do. On the other hand, yeah, like the Scaly world. I've held a crocodile before.
Oh, how was that? I've only eaten one.
It was good. It
Cool.
felt nice. I think, like, snake, not so much. That didn't appeal to me during those like fun little childhood sharings, but the crocodile was very nice to hold. But I'm gonna stick with furry.
Okay.
Furry for sure. It's the
Totally
eyes.
fair. Oh, it's the eyes. What about the eyes? I thought it was going to be the fur. Why the eyes?
It's just like I don't feel like I can make eye contact with non-mammals and get the same connection. I just feel like we're on different wavelengths. Like you look at the eyes of a bird, and it's not with me.
You're so full of shit because you're like, oh no, goats are mammals, but their eyes are gross. Blah.
Goats should not be classified as animals.
Goats are beautiful and wonderful, and I love them. And their eyes, especially their eyes. I love goats' eyes. It's coming up on another podcast.
Oh man,
it's that important to me.
And that's the thing. Maybe that's what makes it more disturbing is that I can detect a grain of shared alignment with a goat that has been twisted and malformed into something disturbing and evil. Whereas like a crocodile, that is not what I mean, and you know that very much.
Weak.
Wrong.
Okay, so wrong. All right, so the eyes. It's just because they're but prettier or
it just feels more of a connection. I just feel more connection there, and I don't want to change the Scaly critter and give it people eyes or even mammal eyes because I want to respect the furry and the Scaly creations as their own things and their own benefits not try to make them something they're not.
No, I think that's totally fair. I mean would you braid your furry partner's fur?
Yeah, man, that would be a lot. It would take a lot of time.
I mean, you love them, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah,
what are they to you, Connor? Are they just a pet?
Doing dishes also takes a lot of time, I guess. It kind of falls into the same category. It's just another chore. So yeah, I guess I would help.
That's fun.
Where are you, man? Tell me.
I mean, I based on just like, podcast interestingness, I need to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my actual answer is legitimately Scaly. It did start off as like I want to be different, because I feel like there's a lot more furries out there than Scalys. I'm going to be completely candid. I am not part of the community. I don't know if furries and Scalys are now the same thing. I don't know what people out there who enjoy this stuff are doing. So I'm sorry that I'm speaking out of my ignorance. But for the way that my brain understands it, in a binary, because that's just how my brain works, I'm sorry. I think Scalys are underrated, and I think actually they're got some nice perks. They got some nice perks to them. I do think that the scales would be like really soft and nice. Like
if they're well maintained, I think so.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, I want a partner who takes pride in themselves. So I don't think I would be dating a reptile type dragon person individual that didn't have the care to maintain their I shower and shit,
groom.
Man.
You got to groom. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you, grooming. That's a great word.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be really soft. Like, I don't know what
soft might be the wrong pleasant to touch, like smooth.
That's fair. I'll take it.
But like soft.
I mean, we can definitely have as our intimacy grows and we become more trusting in one another, I can support them through any molts that may happen, and I'm sure they'll be very soft then.
We might have different understandings of the word soft. Okay. But go on. But please. So I think Scaly skin. There is something, like I told you, a holding alligator. Feels nice.
If I have their permission, I can take up like cobbling. I can make like some reptilian skin boots or a nice handbag.
Dude, can you imagine how creepy that would be? Maybe
have problems. No, shut up. You have problems with hair pictures. Lee and I don't. All right. It's just a different fucking thing. It's a resource.
It's not, man.
You're so fucking weird about this.
It's trash that our body makes. I cannot.
Oh my god.
I cannot express to you.
Grow up, you fucking child.
You are on the wrong side of history here, my friend. And I can tell you that because there aren't any more people who make hair pictures, which is, for our two listeners, an old-time practice when people had very little material to work with and they were forced to use their hair braided and glued in artistic ways.
I think it's just because weird fucking people like you shamed artists.
No, man.
You just ruined the fun for everybody else.
No,
you're like,
dude.
oh, ew, that's gross. No, let your freak flag fly. Make some hair paintings. I will look at it. Send pictures of it to us on social media, and I will show them to Connor. I will love them for the both of us.
It's just trash that our body makes once it leaves our body. Like,
you can keep saying all you want. I'm just deleting it out of the podcast at this point. I have all the power. Also, because they're cold-blooded, they need warm rooms and like sun lamps, so they'd be very nice to hug because they're all toasty. I like warm, so I get to hang out with them in their little sauna place. I just think Scalys have a lot going for them. I think there's a lot of fun. Also, like, I don't know, man. No, you're just gonna think I'm a fucking weirdo. You know, see, this is why hair painting stopped, because now I just feel shamed by my friend who I'm supposed to trust and have an open, loving podcast with for the enjoyment of two listeners and each other. And now I don't feel like I'm in a safe space to talk to you anymore. This is what you've done. This is what you've created, Mr. Psychologist. How are you helping children when you can't help a boy?
Hey, bud. I want snakeskin boots too. If you're gonna make some, I'll take a pair.
Thank you. And of course, this is with my partner's permission.
And you know,
I wouldn't do it if she had a problem with it. I wouldn't do it.
And if she was so fascinated by your hair that she saw potential for artwork in it, I would appreciate it through her scaly reptilian eyes.
There we go. Now isn't the world just a little bit of a smaller place? Things make a little bit more sense.
So what was the thing you were gonna say?
I don't remember. I was thinking like maybe cutting off the tail and having some, you know, like the ones that grow back. It's like, ooh, lady meat.
That is a very twisted idea.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be funny to get your reaction on that one.
I am being very careful with my reactions because I don't want to be shaming. So I'm gonna try to, like, contents under pressure, just like just like squeak the jar open just a little bit and see what comes out.
Just you're weird, creepo. Because if you open it all the way, it's just incoherent screaming.
I'm just trying to think about what it would be like if I just so happened to have an appendage that would grow back.
Oh, I tried myself.
You know what, dude? Like, in that tail, I think it comes off pretty painlessly for a lot of lizards. It's like, honestly, like, you get a little too scared one day, and it's just like, there it goes. Like, you get caught in a car door. Because our lives, our world is not built for your reptile lady's tail, and it's like a sliding door's going to catch it at some point, and then like there it goes. And now her skirts don't fit the same for a while, and that's a personal issue. And you've also got this wriggling, writhing 8 to 12 pounds of someone that you love, and why wouldn't you eat that? I guess.
Hey, two listeners, I can't wait to see how much of this stayed in the podcast. Because I'm sure it's not a lot. I'm mostly in it for the cuddles. The warm sun lamp cuddles.
Oh, I gotta say, you think about the head scratches. You know, like, it's already nice to get like little scratches from your human nailed partner. Think about, like, certainly not sharp, because as we discussed, there's grooming involved.
Of course.
These nails are not there for ripping into people's flesh anymore. They're for scritching. Those would be nice. And scratching.
Very good. All right, let's move on. Last one of the day already. Can you believe it?
Still thinking about that tail, man. Still thinking about that tail. Because, you're going to have... okay.
You need to think about some old ones, man.
Moving on.
Because we're doing number 6.
Back when life was simple.
Oh, my God. Everything else about the movie and the acting and the plot stays the same. What role do you replace with a cardboard cutout of the actor?
Whoa.
That's an old one. I don't know if you remember that one. It's that old.
Yeah, no.
But while you're thinking, I do have mine locked and loaded.
Fire away. There.
And it is going to be Edward Cullen from Twilight. Because there's... For starters, Robert Pattinson hates that fucking role.
He did.
Deeply.
You're doing him a big favor.
I am. Also, I don't know if you've seen it, Connor or two listeners, but look at his GQ shoot. It is fucking ridiculous. I love it. He's just in the most ridiculous clothing and posturing ever. It brings me a lot of joy. My favorite's the one where he's like super lounged in like a clear chair with his like fucking parachute pants or some shit. It's great.
This was a photo shoot for Twilight?
No, this was just a photo shoot with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, just okay. Total aside.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. It's just like he's a cool guy. He didn't like this role, but I think it'd be really funny just because of how like dark and brooding all of the shots and everything are in that movie, and he brings such an intensity to a lot of the spots as Edward with like, I'm a monster, blah, and just like a shaking fucking cardboard cutout. I think that'd be fantastic. Like when he stops the car to save Bella, just and then the car smashes. It's great.
Yeah. Like the moving very quickly scenes, the way that cardboard will shake when it's moving, really, like just the wind.
Just hold on tight, spider monkey. And then the fucking cardboard just cracks in half.
I would especially and then you can get the whole trilogy in, which is actually a quadrilogy, isn't it?
Yeah, there's 4 books and 5 movies.
5 movies. Okay, a quintilogy.
Yeah.
And the cardboard cutout can just take more damage as time goes on.
Oh, that's really good.
So all of the like move too fast, it split in half, or like, oh no, we got it wet. Like that's all canonical to the actor, which is the cardboard cutout.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, that's very fun. Yeah, I just think like I've only seen the first Twilight movie. I will be watching others with Leah eventually. And if Leah, you're listening to this, I did mean it when I said eventually. I still mean it when I say eventually. Unfortunately, eventually is a long time from now. But it feels right. It feels so right to me for that answer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Personal favorite of Robert Pattinson. 5 movies. Yeah. Worth of bang for your choice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And it's just like I don't know where you're coming from this question from, but for me it's definitely I want the silly factor.
Oh yeah.
I want the ha-has and the hee-hees.
For sure. Yeah, I think
I would get that.
You could take a mean-spirited approach to it and be like, you know who I really hated in that one movie who might as well have been a cardboard cutout? Yeah. And that's fine. Hey, we've all got our own hot takes. But no, I want to see the silliness of people reacting to the cardboard cutout.
I don't know more about my understanding of the Twilight series is very through Leah's lens and very muddled because she talks very excitedly and deeply about it, and I can't keep up even though I try. But I think also Bella might be a fun answer for that, just with how much of a MacGuffin she can be. And just like all like so many people fighting over her literally or romantically, and it's just right here, just fucking cardboard.
Yeah, you with the competition, right, between Team Edward and Team Jacob.
I only know Team Edward because that's the right one.
Edward and the other one. The fact that she's like really conflicted about whether she wants to date this living flesh and blood person.
She's not. The whole Team Edward Jacob thing was just marketing. Like if you
he's in there.
I don't know, dog. If you like actually know the stuff, like
I don't.
Yeah, no,
I don't.
No, dude. Jacob's super fucked up. He's not a cool dude.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not great. He's really shitty.
Huh.
And like to be fair, Edward's kind of shitty too, but like she at least likes him. I'm team her dad. I'm a big fan of Charlie. He's a cool guy. Anyway, what movie are you doing, bud?
I refuse to meet this question exactly where it's asking me. I'm going to go for a television show instead.
Ooh, I'm fine with that. You ain't going to hear me argue.
And maybe just a because it's fresh in my mind because I've been watching it lately. But I want to replace Violet Bridgerton on Bridgerton with a cardboard cutout.
Why?
Because there is a very sad and like legitimately moving backstory around the Bridgerton father dying tragically.
Okay. Yep.
And the idea that maybe the Bridgertons are so influential in town and so rich and so well liked that everybody doesn't call them on their bullshit when their mother also died at a long time ago, and they've just been parading a cardboard cutout of her around ever since, and everybody reacts to her as though she's real.
Oh, that's levels. That's layers. I like that.
And she is an influential character. She's not background character. She's important. She notices things and has deep, meaningful conversations with people. She's like a political figure in the town. And
but she's dead?
She's not in the show. But once she's a cardboard cutout, you kind of start thinking like, hey, wait a second. Did they... Is that actually...
That's really good.
Is this diegetic?
That's really good. Oh, I like that a lot. I don't know what channel this is on, but call them up. Call them up yesterday. Boy, do I got a slice of fried gold for you.
And like they're always, like it's a lot of drama, a lot of romance stuff, and there's always, like a lot of obstacles in the way of relationships coming together, and that unspoken wondering about like, is my potential partner legitimately insane, driven beyond the brink of madness by grief, and is it worth it if they are? And nobody ever addresses it. She just is a cardboard cutout the whole time. They put new dresses on her for fancy events. People have to
so fun.
The person in town who makes dresses has to measure her and act like this is a real customer.
Oh, dude, that's so good. That's so good. I don't have any response other than that's so good. Yeah, I know these questions are for conversation, but sometimes they're just for Connor's fucking brilliant ideas.
It's not being funny, though. It's not funny anymore.
No,
I said I wanted a funny one.
Yeah.
Now it's just scary.
No, weird. It's just thought provoking on late stage capitalism. All right. I think we're done. I think we've had a time. Well, we're at the end of the podcast. You didn't need to listen this far, but you did, and we appreciate it. If you want to hang out with us, get your own questions asked and answered, you can hit Connor specifically with an email at
lemonanswers@gmail.com.
lemonanswers@gmail.com. See our dumb memes on social media at The Answer is a Lemon.
On nearly all social media outlets.
Yeah, buddy. I got nothing else.
Why
Love
would
you. Bye.
Bye.
I'll be right back. I gotta pee.